The envelope trembled slightly in Dr. Phil's hand. For a man who had witnessed thousands of life-altering moments in this very studio, his expression carried a weight that made everyone, the crew, the audience, the cameras, hold their breath. The woman seated across from him, 28-year-old Emily, had no idea that in the next 60 seconds, every single thing she believed about her identity was about to shatter like glass. "Stop the cameras," Dr. Phil said quietly. But nobody moved, because what was unfolding wasn't just television. It was the kind of raw, unbearable truth that changes lives forever. 2 weeks earlier, Emily had submitted a request to appear on the show. The message was simple but desperate. "I need help understanding why my sister hates me. We used to be close, but for the past 5 years, she won't speak to me. My mother died 3 years ago, and I thought it would bring us together. Instead, she's completely shut me out. I don't know what I did wrong." Dr. Phil's production team reached out. They always do their homework: interviews, background checks, family history. But this time, during a pre-interview with her sister, Rebecca, something unexpected emerged. Something that made the producer stop typing mid-sentence and pick up the phone. "You need to hear this," the producer told Dr. Phil. "This isn't what we thought it was." Rebecca, now 46 years old, had been carrying a secret for nearly 3 decades, and the weight of it was killing her. On the day of the taping, Emily arrived at the studio with hope in her eyes. She wore jeans and a soft blue sweater, casual, unassuming, the kind of outfit someone wears when they just want to feel comfortable. She had no idea her sister was already backstage, pacing, crying, begging the producers for more time. "I can't do this," Rebecca whispered to the stage manager. "I can't tell her, not like this." But Dr. Phil had a different perspective. "You've been not telling her for 28 years, he said, his voice firm but not unkind, "and look where that's gotten both of you." The taping began. Emily sat in the chair, hands folded in her lap, nervous but composed. Dr. Phil asked the usual opening questions: her childhood, her relationship with her mother, her memories of growing up with Rebecca. "She was always more like a second mom than a sister," Emily said with a sad smile. "She took care of me, made my lunches, helped with homework, came to my school events when Mom couldn't. I don't understand why she won't even return my calls now." Dr. Phil nodded, his expression unreadable. "And your mother? Tell me about her." Emily's face softened. "She was amazing. Worked 2 jobs to support us. I mean, she wasn't perfect. She was young when she had Rebecca, only 17, but she did her best." "And you?" Dr. Phil asked. "How old was she when she had you?" Emily paused, something flickering across her face, a question she'd never thought to ask. I don't actually know. Mid-30s, I think? I never really asked." The audience shifted. A few people glanced at each other. Dr. Phil leaned back in his chair, and for just a moment the studio felt smaller, more intimate, like a therapy session rather than a TV show. "Emily," he said carefully, "I want to bring someone out, and I need you to trust me. Can you do that?" She nodded, confused but willing. Rebecca walked onto the stage, and Emily's face lit up, then immediately crumbled when she saw her sister's expression. Rebecca wasn't just sad, she was devastated. Guilt radiated from her like heat. "Becca," Emily whispered, half standing, "what's wrong? What happened?" Rebecca sat down in the chair next to her, but couldn't look at her. She stared at the floor, hands shaking. Dr. Phil didn't rush. He never does. He let the silence sit there, let the tension build, because sometimes silence is the only thing that makes space for truth. "Rebecca," Dr. Phil said finally, his voice low and steady, "you told my producer something 2 days ago, something Emily doesn't know. Are you ready to tell her?" Rebecca shook her head, tears streaming. I can't do this to her." "You already did it to her," Dr. Phil said, not cruelly, but with the kind of directness that cuts through denial. 20 years ago, and every day since." Emily looked between them, panic rising.
What is he talking about? Becca, what's going on? Dr. Phil reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a white envelope. He held it up, not to Emily, but to Rebecca. This, he said, is a DNA test. We ran it 3 days ago, with both of your permissions. He paused, letting that sink in. Rebecca, you know what it says. Emily doesn't. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Do you want to tell her, or do you want me to? Rebecca finally looked up, her face wrecked with grief. She turned to Emily, and when she spoke, her voice was barely audible. I'm not your sister. Emily blinked. What? I'm not your sister, Emily. I'm... Her voice broke. She tried again. I'm your mother. The studio went silent. Not the polite, anticipatory silence of a TV audience, the kind of silence that happens when the air itself seems to stop moving. Emily stared at her. What are you talking about? Rebecca's hands were shaking so badly she had to clasp them together. I was 17. I got pregnant. Mom, our mom, she said we couldn't tell anyone, that it would ruin my life, ruin everything. So we made a plan. Dr. Phil's face was a study of controlled empathy. He'd seen this before. Families built on lies so old they'd calcified into truth. But he also knew this moment was a detonation, and Emily was ground zero. When you were born, Rebecca continued, her voice cracking with every word, Mom told everyone you were hers, a surprise baby. And I went along with it. I was a kid. I didn't know what else to do. She looked at Emily, desperate. But I stayed. I didn't leave you. I took care of you every single day. Emily's face had gone pale. She wasn't crying. She wasn't moving. She was somewhere between shock and disbelief, her brain trying to recalibrate 28 years of reality in real time. So, Mom? Emily's voice was barely a whisper. Mom wasn't my mom? She was, Rebecca said quickly. She raised you. She loved you. But biologically, I'm your mother. Dr. Phil leaned forward. Emily, I know this is... Stop! Emily held up her hand, her eyes wide and unfocused. Just stop! I need a minute. And Dr. Phil did something he rarely does. He stopped. He didn't push, didn't prompt, didn't try to guide the moment. He just let her sit there, drowning in a truth she never asked for. The audience was frozen. Some were crying, others just stared, unable to look away. After what felt like an eternity, Emily turned back to Rebecca. Her voice, when it came, was hollow. Why now? Why are you telling me this now? Rebecca's face twisted. Because I've been lying to you your whole life, and when Mom died, I thought I could just keep lying, but I can't.
I see you at family events, and you look at me like I'm the enemy, and you have no idea why I pulled away. And the reason, she sobbed, the reason is because every time I look at you, I see the choice I made, and I hate myself for it. So this is about you, Emily said, her voice gaining an edge. You feeling guilty. No, Rebecca said quickly. It's about you deserving the truth. Emily stood up suddenly, violently. The truth? The truth is that my entire life is a lie. My mother wasn't my mother. My sister is my mother. What am I supposed to do with that? Dr. Phil stood too, his voice calm but firm. Emily, sit down, please. She didn't. She turned to him, angry now. Did you know before I came here? Yes, Dr. Phil said simply. No deflection, no softening. I knew. And you still brought me here? You ambushed me with this on national television? I didn't ambush you, Dr. Phil said, his tone steady. I gave you the truth, something you've been owed for 28 years. Subscribe and leave a comment because the most powerful part of this story is still ahead. Emily sank back into the chair, her hands covering her face. For a long moment, no one spoke. Then Dr. Phil walked over, knelt down in front of her, a move that surprised even his own crew, and spoke quietly, just to her. I know this feels like your world just ended, he said, but it didn't. You're still you. The love you had, The memories you have, they're still real. The only thing that's changed is that now you know the whole story." Emily lowered her hands. Her eyes were red but dry. "Who's my father?" Rebecca flinched. Dr. Phil glanced at her, then back to Emily. "That," he said gently, "is a conversation you and Rebecca need to have, but not today. Today, we're just dealing with this." He handed Emily the envelope, the DNA results. She stared at it like it was radioactive. "You don't have to open it," Dr. Phil said. "You already know what it says. But if you need the proof, it's there." Emily took it with trembling hands. She didn't open it. She just held it. This small white rectangle that contained the confirmation of everything she'd just been told. Dr. Phil stood, turning to Rebecca. "And you," he said, his voice harder now, "you need to understand something. You made a choice when you were 17, a choice you didn't have a lot of control over. But every year after that, you had a choice, and you chose the lie." Rebecca nodded, tears streaming. "I know." "So, here's what happens now," Dr. Phil continued. "You don't get to feel better just because you finally told the truth. That's not how this works. You wanted Emily in your life, then you do the work. Therapy, family therapy. You sit in the discomfort of what you did and you let her be angry. You let her grieve. You don't get to rush her forgiveness." He turned back to Emily. "And you get to feel however you feel, angry, betrayed, confused, all of it. But I'm also going to tell you something. That woman right there," he gestured to Rebecca, "she may have lied about who she was, but she didn't lie about loving you. She stayed. She raised you. And that counts for something." The audience murmured in agreement, a few clapping softly, but Dr. Phil wasn't done. He turned to the camera, not the one focused on Emily, but the one that faced the audience, and spoke directly to the viewers at home. "If you're watching this and thinking, that could never be me, you're wrong. Families keep secrets, big ones, and those secrets don't just disappear. They metastasize. They poison relationships. They steal years." He paused. "If you're carrying a secret that's eating you alive, get help. Talk to someone, because the truth will come out eventually, and it's a lot less painful when you're the one who tells it." He turned back to Emily and Rebecca, his voice softer now. "We've arranged for both of you to meet with a family therapist, someone who specializes in this kind of trauma. It's not a magic fix, but it's a start." Rebecca looked at Emily, hopeful but afraid. Will you come to therapy?" Emily didn't answer right away. She stared at the envelope in her hands, then at Rebecca, then at Dr. Phil. Finally, she spoke. "I don't know if I can forgive you." "I'm not asking you to," Rebecca whispered. "But I will come to therapy, because I need to understand. I need to know everything." Rebecca nodded, sobbing with relief. Okay. Dr. Phil placed a hand on Emily's shoulder. "That's enough for today. You've been through enough." The cameras pulled back, the audience remained silent, and for once there was no applause, because some moments aren't meant to be celebrated. They're meant to be witnessed. 2 months later, Dr. Phil's team followed up. Emily and Rebecca had attended 6 therapy sessions together. It wasn't easy. There were fights, tears, slammed doors, but they kept showing up. Emily had also started seeing a therapist on her own, working through the identity crisis that comes with learning your entire origin story was fiction. "I still don't call her mom," Emily said in the follow-up interview. "I don't know if I ever will, but we're talking, and that's more than we've done in 5 years." Rebecca, for her part, seemed lighter. "I know I don't deserve forgiveness," she said, "but just being honest with her, it's like I can breathe again." Dr. Phil watched the footage, nodding. "This is what healing looks like," he told his team. "It's messy, it's slow, but it's real." Back in the studio, months after that taping, Dr. Phil reflected on the moment during a production meeting. That envelope, he said, holding up a replica they kept for reference, was not just about DNA. It was about truth. And truth, no matter how painful, is the only foundation you can build a real relationship on. He paused, looking at his team. "We don't do this show to create drama. We do it to break through the lies people tell themselves. And sometimes that means holding up a mirror they don't want to look into. One of the producers asked, "Do you think they'll be okay, Emily and Rebecca?" Dr. Phil considered that and said, "I think they have a chance now. Before that envelope, they had nothing but silence and distance. Now they have truth. And truth, as painful as it is, gives you something to work with." He looked at the envelope one last time before setting it down. That's all of us can hope for. A chance to start over with the truth. Share and subscribe. Make sure the story is never forgotten.